In this lesson, we are going to talk about the three main ways to obtain free assets. Assets could include but are not limited to things such as 3D models, textures, animations, sounds, and particle effects. The three main sources of assets we will be looking at are 1. The Unity Asset Store, 2. The ZEPETO Asset Package, and then finally 3. Various websites that provide free assets. Let's first take a look at how to obtain assets from the Unity Asset Store. We're going to want to do two things. One is have Unity opened, and 2, have the Asset Store website opened as well. You'll also want to make sure that you are signed into both Unity and the Unity Asset Store. This will make adding assets from the Asset Store and opening those assets in Unity possible. Let's go ahead and sign into both Unity and the Unity Asset Store. You'll be using your Unity ID to sign into both. If you do not have a Unity ID yet, go to id.unity.com and select Create One to create your ID. Once you have your Unity ID, go into Unity, select Account, and select Sign In. Go into the Asset Store, find the user profile image icon, and select Sign In there as well. Go ahead and pick your account, click on Sign In, and then you'll be signed into the Asset Store. Now, because I've already signed into both previously, Windows has remembered my login credentials and signed me in automatically. You may need to input your Unity ID credentials if this is the first time you are signing in. Let's go to the Asset Store and find something to download. Notice how on the Asset Store homepage, you can browse multiple categories by clicking on different tabs. Here we have 3D, 2D, add-ons, audio, AI, as well as many other categories. I'm going to be picking 3D assets for today. Now, I also want you to notice there's another way to filter. You can filter by categories such as pricing, Unity versions, publisher, ratings, platforms, and release date. Today, I'm going to filter out for only viewing free assets. I'm going to scroll down and look at some 3D assets. I think I like this simple poly city low poly asset, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Open in Unity. This brings up a window that asks, do I want to open up in the Unity editor? I'm going to go ahead and click on that button. So now it brings up the package manager inside Unity. One thing I'll need to do though is even though I have the asset, I need to actually download it. So I'm going to go ahead and click download on the simple poly city low poly assets. I'm going to wait for that to finish, and once it's finished, I should be good to go. Now this package is now ready for import. So I'm going to go ahead and click import, and I'm going to go ahead and select import to import every asset from this asset package. Now once that's done, I can go ahead and close out of that and then maximize Unity, and I'll see now that I have the simple poly city low poly assets inside Unity. I'm actually going to go ahead and open up simple poly city low poly assets folder. In here there's a demo, there's materials, models, prefabs, and textures. I'm going to go ahead and open the demo folder, and in here it looks like there's a simple poly city low poly assets demo scene. I'll double click on that to load it up. As you can see here, this is a great example of how you would use this in your own game. So definitely explore this demo scene and you can get some ideas of how you would use this in your own ZEPETO world. Let's take a look at the ZEPETO Asset Package. The ZEPETO Asset Package is a collection of environment assets such as buildings, props, and other things made in the ZEPETO cartoon style that you can freely use for your ZEPETO world projects. To access these ZEPETO assets, you'll need to do a bit of minor setup inside the Unity Package Manager. If you want to take a look at the documentation on how to access ZEPETO assets, you can find that at docs.zepeto.me/studio/reference/ZEPETO_asset. Let's go through the steps for setting up your Unity Package Manager to be able to access the ZEPETO asset package. So go ahead and click on Window, and click on Package Manager. Click on the gear icon and select Advanced Project Settings. This project settings window will pop up, and what you'll do is you'll go ahead and find this plus sign, click it, in the empty field, type in asset, and then click apply. And just go ahead and say OK for updating a scope registry. After that finishes, go to the drop-down on the top left of the Package Manager window and select My Registries from the drop-down menu. Under ZEPETO Asset, you'll now see different environment asset sets that you can download, such as Cherry Blossom, City, Commons, and much, much more. To download one of these environment sets, just click on it and then click Install. Once you see the green check mark pop up, you can then go back into Unity and if you go to Packages, you'll see now that Cherry Blossom is now inside your Unity project. Let's take a look at the Cherry Blossom asset that we just downloaded. If I open the Cherry Blossom folder, I'll see that there's a prefabs folder, and inside that are tons of assets that I can use for my scene. If I click on one of these assets, I see that the first one is a carp. Let me just scroll down and show you that there's tons of assets that you can pick from. As you can see, there's lots of them. So definitely a lot to explore here. And remember, this is only one of the asset sets. There's much, much more in that package manager for you to download. So let's take a look at this carp again. And I'm gonna drag into my scene. And maybe I'll drag this other building into my scene too, just so that I have a size comparison. So maybe this roof. So as you can see, that roof is pretty big. But let's go and take a look at the carp again. If I hit play, I'll see it animating, which is pretty cool. So these are really useful assets for you to use inside your world scenes. So take a look and explore. Let's now take a look at some resources on the web that provide free assets. First, we'll start with Mixamo, a site for free character animations. If you have never logged in before and have an account, go ahead and sign up for one. Since I've already made an account, I can go ahead and log in. In Mixamo, you'll see a search bar. Go ahead and search for something that you would like for animation. I'm going to search for swimming. Go ahead and pick that animation. And here on the right, you'll see a download button. Go ahead and click download. And under format, you can just pick FBX for Unity and then leave everything else the same. And now click on this icon to show in the folder. All right, here's my swimming animation. Let me go back into Unity, and I'm going to drag that animation into Unity. And there you go. That animation is now in Unity, and you can use it for however you want. All right, let's take a look now at Poliigon, which is a site for free textures. Same thing here. If you don't have an account, go ahead and sign up for one. I already made an account, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. Now, same thing with Mixamo. There's a search bar that you can search for textures. I'm going to search for brick. Now, one thing you'll notice is that there's both free assets and paid assets. I'm going to go ahead and pick one of the free assets and click it. Now, under here, you can see that under maps, there's 9 maps. You can either download all of them or just download one of the ones you want, such as a diffuse map. I'll go ahead and download all of the maps. Once it's done downloading, I'm going to go ahead and open the folder that it exists in. As you can see here, here's my zip of the bricks reclaimed whitewashed offset 01. Go ahead and right click that and then go ahead and extract all. And go ahead and just say extract. Now, what you can do now is go back into Unity and I'll pick all these textures and drag them into Unity. And there you go. Your textures are now ready to use for your game project. All right, last, we're going to visit a site called sfxr.me. This is a site to generate video game sounds. So let me show you around what you can do in the site. You can just go ahead and pick random. And it will generate random sounds. Or you can pick one of the specific sounds like pickup coin. And every time you pick it, it will randomize that to be a different coin sound. Same with laser. And all the other options. You can also actually manually change these settings. And then hit play it, and if you like it, you can actually save it. So let me go ahead and actually pick one of the default sounds such as jump. And maybe I'll change this frequency to be a little lower. And now that that's done, I can go ahead and actually save this by clicking on this download jump wave sound. And I'll open this up in the folder. And then same thing, I'll open up Unity. And I'll drag this jump sound into Unity. As you can see here. So there, your sound is now ready to play.